There's this weird new way of talking that's popping up all over the internet. It sounds super polished, almost too persuasive, and it just feels a little bit off, a little inhuman. I bet you've seen it. Today, we're going to dive into this world of what's being called AI slop, and we're going to talk about why that little feeling in your gut is trying to tell you something important.
Right? You felt that, haven't you? You're just scrolling through comments or maybe reading an article, and all the words are technically correct, but there's just no soul behind them. It's this uncanny, strange feeling, and it's spreading like wildfire. Well, your instincts are spot on. Something is definitely off. So the big question is, how can you actually tell when you're reading something written by an AI? Well, it's not some big mystery. It's actually a pattern. And once you see the signs, trust me, you can't unsee them. Okay, so here is the biggest, most obvious fingerprint of the current AI models. It's this peculiar little linguistic habit. It makes a negative statement and then immediately follows it up with a positive one. Things like, it's not just a tool, it's a revolution. Or, it's not that it's difficult, it's that it's a challenge. It has this very dramatic rhythm that, let's be honest, real people just don't use over and over again. And get this pattern is becoming so common that it's literally changing how some people talk. A teacher on Reddit pointed out that this exact AI-style structure is starting to jump from student essays into the way people speak, like in video essays. It's like the AI's dialect is starting to rub off on us. And of course, because it's the internet, the whole thing has already become a meme. People are now sarcastically copying this AI writing style, and this comment just nails that tone perfectly. But it's more than just a joke, right? It's a sign that everybody is starting to recognize it. We all see what's happening. But that's not the only giveaway. Nope, there are other hallmarks to watch for. There's this sudden, intense love for the em dash. I mean, it's used way more than it ever was in normal writing. You might also spot a very particular set of emojis, like the little check mark and the red X, that are used to structure arguments super neatly. But honestly, the biggest tell of all is just the overall tone. It's this flawless, polished vibe where every sentence flows just a little too perfectly. There's none of that normal human friction. So, this all brings up a much bigger, more interesting question. Why do we see this supposedly perfect writing and immediately feel like something's wrong? Well, that takes us right here to the value of human imperfection. You see, the reason AI sounds so predictable is because it's not actually creating anything, it's calculating. A large language model is basically a probability machine. It's been fed billions of sentences written by us, by humans, and it's learned to predict which word is most statistically likely to come next. It's a brilliant imitator, for sure, but it's not an author. So here's where things get really different. AI gives you that polished, perfectly coherent text. Humans, we give you mess. We have voice cracks in our writing, Those little imperfections, the weird pauses, the slightly awkward phrases, the metaphors that don't quite land. AI is literally designed to smooth all of that away. And in the process, it kind of smoothed away the humanity, too. And this is absolutely the key. Those rough edges, they aren't mistakes. They're signals. They are, in a way, proof of life. They tell you that a real, thinking, feeling, wonderfully flawed human being is on the other side of that screen, actually pushing back against the clean, perfect algorithm.
It's kind of a crazy reversal, isn't it? For centuries, we've all been trying to communicate more clearly, more perfectly. But now, in an age that's flooded with machine-made perfection, it's our incoherence, our very messiness, that has suddenly become the real sign of authenticity. It's a precious, precious signal of trust.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What does all of this actually mean for the internet? Because this isn't just about a few weird-sounding comments. We are talking about the entire future of information online.
The term that experts are starting to use for all this stuff is AI slop. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's low-quality, low-effort, mass-produced content that is flooding every single corner of the web. It's designed to look like real information, but it often has no substance, no originality, and sometimes no accuracy at all. And the stakes here are getting incredibly high. Just the simple act of trying to find an authentic human thought online is getting harder every day. And think about education. There's this destructive feedback loop forming. You have students using AI to write their essays, and then you have overworked teachers using AI to grade those essays. It's a cycle that doesn't just cheapen real effort. It's a threat to critical thinking itself. And the scariest part? Right now, we have no truly reliable tools to tell the difference. So, all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, crucial question. As we head into a future where the internet is just saturated with AI text, our whole definition of what makes communication trustworthy might have to change. Are we going to start valuing those voice cracks and those half-formed metaphors more than perfect, polished sentences? In a world of digital perfection, maybe our human messiness isn't just something precious. Maybe it's our most powerful tool.